Hello and welcome back. Happy New Year. We are going to continue with our weekly Disney stories. And this week we're going to start with Winnie the Pooh, What Good Friends Do, Part 1. When Piglet has trouble sleeping, Winnie the Pooh comes over to help teach him how to be brave. This was published by Autumn Publishing, and let's get into it. One night in the 100-acre wood, a nervous Piglet could not sleep. He lay in bed listening to the creepy noises all around him. "Oh dear," Piglet said. "I'd better just stay here until morning. Keep watch for heffalumps, woozles, and all other creatures that come out at night." The next morning, Pooh knocked on Piglet's door, but there was no answer. "That's strange," said Pooh. "Piglet knew I was coming. I wonder where he could be." Ever curious, Pooh opened the door and stepped inside. He found his friend in bed, shivering beneath the covers. "Oh, bother," said Pooh. "What's the matter, Piglet?" "Oh, dearie dear," said Piglet. "Don't you hear it, Pooh?" Pooh listened, but all he could hear were the birds chirping outside Piglet's window. "I do hear it," said Pooh, "and it sounds lovely to me." "Not the birds, Pooh," said Piglet. "It's woozles and heffalumps that set their traps outside my house." "I know that I am a bear of very little brain," said Pooh, "but I don't see anyone here except you and me, Piglet." "How can that be?" asked Piglet. "I'm sure they are here. Those creatures kept me up all night." "Perhaps you were dreaming," said Pooh. "Let's look around to make sure they're not here." "You see, Piglet," said Pooh, feeling relieved, "there's nobody here but us." "That's true now," Piglet agreed, "but last night they were all here." "Perhaps a little smackle of honey will help," said Pooh. "Good idea," said Piglet. "My rumbly tummy is grateful," said Pooh. "Breakfast always helps me feel braver." The friends were eating and chattering when Piglet's eyes suddenly grew wide as saucers. "What's that whooshing and whistling?" cried Piglet. "It's the wind blowing through your curtains," Pooh said. "Are you sure?" asked Piglet nervously. "It sounds like a woozlish to me." "If there was a woozle about, I think I'd know it. Now perhaps a smackle more honey and some tea would be nice," said Pooh hopefully. After Piglet put on the kettle and retrieved another honey pot, he heard a loud hissing. "Ah!" he cried. "Pooh, do you hear that?" "Yes, Piglet, that would be the tea kettle," said Pooh. Soon Rabbit stopped by with some freshly picked apples. "Are you ill?" asked Rabbit, staring at Piglet's nightclothes. "No, but I'm too tired to explain." Just then a horrible banging and clanging began, sending Piglet diving beneath a chair. "I believe your pipes need tightening," said Rabbit. "My toolkit and I will be back in a jiffy." Piglet crawled out slowly from underneath the chair and smiled sheepishly at Pooh. But before Pooh could say another word, they heard a plip, blip, blop throughout the kitchen. Pooh went over to Piglet's sink and turned the tap left and right. "That should do the trick," he said. "I do hope Rabbit hurries," said Piglet. "All those noises are making me nervous." Pooh turned to his friend. "I think I know a way to help, Piglet. What if you pretend to be brave, even if you're really not?" Piglet considered this. "What good is pretend when there are heffalumps and woozles about?" "Well," Pooh said, "perhaps you might get so busy being brave that you forget that you're pretending, and then you can go on being brave." After Rabbit fixed the pipes, Pooh spent the rest of the noisy day at Piglet's. First it was the drip, drip, drip of the rain hitting the roof. Then it was Piglet's front door creaking and squeaking. That night Pooh checked the house carefully. "Try to get some sleep now, Piglet," said Pooh, "and remember what we talked about." "Yes," said Piglet. "I'm going to pretend to be brave. Maybe I'll even dream it." But before Piglet could turn back the covers on his bed, there came a long, low rumble, followed by a giant crash. "It's just thunder and lightning," said Pooh. "Don't be afraid." "Oh, dear Pooh," said Piglet. "I'm not pretending to be brave very well, am I?" "I'll keep watch tonight, Piglet," said Pooh, tucking Piglet into bed. "Maybe you can try pretending again in the morning." But soon Piglet heard a strange sigh, followed by a long snore. What could it possibly be? To be continued. And that is the first part of What Good Friends Do. Stay tuned for part 2 next week. Like, share, subscribe and support the channel however you can. And I will see you real soon.